time with Walt here for a little while as the rest of our cast comes in here in a moment or two.
I'm so happy that this is not the last Rangerstop. This is exciting. I'm like, yay! I love this convention. Like to have all my friends here and have all you guys here, and you guys support us so well. You give us such love. It's amazing. And I wouldn't want that to stop.
Conventions for you. What was your first convention experience as a? You used to do.
I used to do car shows.
Yeah, I was going to say before conventions were even a big hero thing, you still did those.
Yeah, shortly after Rangers, after I left the Power Rangers, Austin, Tweety, and myself had a manager, and she started booking us at car shows. So, have you ever been to a car show? They're huge.
I went to one to see you.
Oh, you?
Yeah. and Tweety, but I missed Tweety, which sucked because obviously it sucked, but.
And we weren't there together. We were individuals.
Yeah, because that's it. You were, but I had missed her, and I saw you,
and let me tell you, at that point, this is like 1995, the show was at its top of fame, and the line was out the door, around the block, twice, and people waited 4 hours in the sun to get in to come and see, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And we took photos with Polaroid cameras. It was $5 for a photo. A little bit different. That was like $5 in 1995. And it was crazy. I would sign autographs. There were pre-made autographs. I would sign, or I think they were already pre-signed, and I would initial it or something like that, because it was impossible to write that many autographs for that many people in that much time. And I would get 15-minute breaks. I learned the power of the power nap. So, in a 15-minute break, I would go back into a small room by myself. I would have my own little room, and I would lay on the floor, and I put my legs up on the chair. All the blood would rush from my feet, from my legs to my heart and my brain. And 15 minutes later, I get up like, oh, okay, let's go. And I was ready. And I kept that. Somebody told me about that back when I was in those days. I maintained that practice. So anytime you see me at a convention, after the convention's over, know that Walter's gonna go get his power nap. It's gonna take about 45 minutes. What happens is, after about 45 minutes, the blood leaves your legs and your feet, and your legs become uncomfortable. So you wake up. You're like, oh, that feels weird. Either you wanna turn over or you wake up, and if I usually wake up and I'm like, all right, now I'm ready. So, just so you know, anybody needs some power nap advice, there you go.
I love it. It's the secret to good success. So I remember your first Power Morphicon in 2007 was the first Power Rangers-centric convention. Did you guys think that was something like you and Steve?
Hey, we got some more folks in the building. He is here. He's back.
Oh my gosh,
let's go. Katherine, Sutherland, the beautiful.
So glad you're here. Steve, welcome. Katherine, welcome. We got a little once and always party going here at this point. That's fun.
Yo, Walter, Joe.
You're ready to go to Miami.
I am ready to go to Miami.
I'm always
I'm going to Miami.
Yeah, you're right, you've done there.
Throw me the luggage, bro. I want to go.
What time?
See, throw me your luggage. I want to go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm from Miami. I made
Yeah.
shots there.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show, to the party, guys.
Birthday?
Yeah, I was about to ask about the hats. Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. What's your name? Happy birthday, dear Zack. Happy birthday to you.
Every Mustang's out.
We should go on tour now. The birthday tour, let's go.
I didn't know that was gonna happen. Let's go.
Mighty Morphin the musical.
The Mighty Morphin musical.
We'll call it the once and always never again tour.
Never again.
The once and never again.
Oh man. Oh man.
Steve got jokes. Steve always has jokes. Ain't nobody got more for time for that.
Anybody got more time for that?
Ain't nobody got more fun time for that. Yeah. What's up back there? How you doing?
What's Steve?
What's Steve?
Which Steve?
Both Steves. Him and me. But him is just the guy. We all got jokes. We all got jokes. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Steve's.
Well, it's good to have everybody here. Everybody's coming in. It's our last day of what is not the last year. We were just talking about I don't know if you want to talk about it at all now, or you you're gonna wait, but do you have anything to weigh in on the new experience here? I'm excited to have you. We're all excited for the future.
Well, I mean, you know, I feel like, you know, I didn't want to see this show go away. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like it's just too awesome. So, you know, I was fortunate enough to meet Brett, who's going to be the new guy taking over everything, and you know, I saw the amazing work he did with the conventions that he's built from the ground up, and I just knew that he could lend that expertise to this to keep this thing going. And you know, I just made the introduction. That's really all that I did. And you know, they worked everything out together and you know, keep it going. So you know, obviously, you know, everyone that was involved in it is still going to have involvement because they're going to be around. You know, it's not like they're like, peace, we're out of here. You know, they're going to be coming around. They'll be around for all that. The only thing that I'm probably going to help do is, you know, the Ranger side of it is never going to change. But what we want to do is augment the pop side, and we want to start bringing like a multitude of pop culture guests to come with as well too. So we're going to get wrestlers, we're going to get anime people, we're going to get Star Wars, we're going to get, you know, everything. You know, we're going to get 1, 2, 3 people from every kind of genre there as well. So we can really expand that side. The hopes with it is being that we get the people who weren't necessarily Ranger fans, right, to come because they're going to see the pop culture side of it. Then they get to mesh with all how awesome you guys are. They get to see that whole side of it. And now we get a whole crop of new Power Ranger fans that weren't exposed to it as much before because they hadn't been here before. You know what I mean? So that's sort of the concept behind it. And we're just going to basically, you know, take the great thing that we have and we're just going to make another part of it just bigger and more featured as well, so that we can just get more people here. It'll just be more fun, you know?
I think they should have a room where they show an episode of every Ranger cast, like in a room that you got it going, like every one episode of every cast, every show.
Yeah.
Like one after the other. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen all the Rangers.
Yay!
But yeah, we got Nakia. What's up? You were you love you too. Jason, you're also beautiful.
Thank you.
And happy Father's Day to you. Oh, happy Father's Day, Jason and Joe. Welcome, happy Father's Day. Thank you guys for
Happy Father's Day to all of us.
Yes.
my sister's calling. Hi, sis.
Happy Father's Day, Kat.
She said, Happy Father's Day. Me too. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Family.
I love that. Family first. Always. That's such a cool thing. I love having you guys here. I hope it's been a good time. We were just talking
Yeah, this
about
is how we wanted to spend our Father's Days with you.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. You see your kids all the time, right? No, that's just yeah, I'm just glad that
I know.
we were talking about how we were talking about Brett and Steve was talking about the new introduction, but I want to, as we're doing the panel, have everybody just one more time, please say thank you to Nakia. Because this is her day 790 and never got a chance to stop. She's done an amazing, she has an amazing 2 new comic book projects coming out, and I couldn't be more proud of you, and to call you a friend and a colleague and then whatever else I can call you. You're just a wonderful person.
Thank you.
So thank you for the time. And thank you for these times.
That was our kid getting leaving the room.
Like, is something.
Oh, did I say that out loud? There's a question there in the back,
Let's
sir.
go ahead and start with that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not really like a question, but more like sort of thank you to Nakia specifically. I want to say thank you for the weekend passes back at MomoCon. Like, this is my very first time being at a Power Rangers convention, and I'm having like a great time.
Yeah.
I'll go for you. I just can't. And if you want me to hug me, I can hug her too.
Hey, what about me?
Later.
That's what I call a girl hug.
On the side hug?
A little side hug. There it is. Do we have any questions already? I know you probably have some while you're out there and about. So feel free. Yeah, Tim, hey.
Alright. Since I'm a huge fan, I know all the history, giving me back so many memories. But for now, since it's Father's Day, how was it working with the actors that played your fathers Walter and Jason had their parents on Parents Day return an old friend.
So the dude they had played Skull's dad, huge dude, like total like biker looking dude, that had on his I kid you not, he had a tattoo of Jesus on the cross doing a push-up.
Like this.
Yeah, Jesus is all like jacked, and it like says the F word right next to like, Jesus, you know, like it was pretty. He was a tough dude, that bogey,
Wow. The guy that played my father, I think he said 2 lines. But he's been famous in LA since Power Rangers as Zack's dad. Yeah. He has events. Come and hang out, bring all the kids down, come meet Zack's dad. He's like,
oh my God.
That's great.
Oh, that's great.
I have like a little cool, interesting, like sort of Father's Day story. So my daughter, she's 26, right?
Yeah.
And last year I was at a Comic-Con in Spokane, Washington, and so she lives in Northern California. So I said, why don't you pop up to the convention in Washington and you can come work my table with me. She's never worked at like a convention with me before or anything like that. And it was extra special because later on that night we did a screening of the MMPR movie, the 30th anniversary of the movie. And so she has never seen the movie. She had never seen the movie from '95. So her first time watching it, she watched it on the big screen in a movie theater. Afterwards and stuff at the theater right there. Yeah, it was awesome, man. So that was cool. So I'm gonna have a little early Father's Day special thing.
Really
That was cool.
The guy who played Catherine's dad was seen in her flashback of her swimming team, watching her dive off the board.
Yes, that's right.
And
I never met them because they worked with
The little kid.
Julia.
Yeah, and it was a flashback.
And they
so I
had
didn't
one
see-
with your parents too, right? With
Yeah.
the board.
or the Conqueror found
Mine
the
were in a
cave.
cave.
Yes.
Mine were in a cave. And was it the end of Turbo or end of Zeo? End of Zeo. Yeah. They were great. They were great people. They seemed nice. No, I do remember that. I do remember.
Dude, I still hear it once in a while from the woman who played my mom, now that I think about it. I know we're talking Father's Day and stuff, but Gloria, she was in Auto Wrestle she was in the spa with Johnny.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds
But I
a
still
little
hear from
funny.
her. What's that?
She was in the spa?
Yeah, so
Explain that.
I had directed, but I never really completed a short film that was supposed to be like a 1960s spy, East German spy TV show. Called Otto der Esel. Otto der Esel, the secret Asian man. Because Johnny Bosch is half German, half Asian, but all his other hitmen were like Steve Cardenas was one of them, Cy Roscoe was one of them, and like you remember this? And so when Johnny gets hired to take out the mark, there's a woman sitting in a spa. I will give you 700 marks for one dead husband. And she gives him, the glossy headshot of the husband he's supposed to kill. And pans over in the spa, and there's Johnny in a complete suit and glasses, like, I'll kill him.
Jason, if I can ask, you don't have to answer this, is that the movie where you guys were like going around LA secretly filming shots and then running when people came to tell you couldn't film them?
Oh no, that was Extreme Extreme Heist, and we were running around the streets of that was hilarious. So I did a film with Johnny and Koichi, okay, and we shot it. We were shooting in Vegas, and we had 2 directors on them, Makoto. Obviously they're Japanese. Obviously they speak English better than I do, right? But they have thick accents. And so when the cops start coming over, they're like, oh shit, we don't have a permit. And he's like, and Makoto's like, don't worry, I have this. And the cop's like, y'all can't be out here shooting. Y'all got a permit? And Makoto, playing into his accent, goes, we shoot a movie. The cop's like, no, I see that, sir, I see that. But do you have a permit? And Makoto goes, as though, he speaks as though he speaks no English. He goes, movie. And the cop's like, oh. And meanwhile, we're getting this shot as quickly as we can. And in front of him, thank you very much, officer. All right, we can go now, guys.
Ladies, welcome. Come on up. Give it up. It's in the family. No, of course, it's almost a welcome. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad everybody was there. Yeah.
Trickle in when you can.
Trickling in.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have any other audience questions up there? Right up in the front row.
Dijon.
So, for the Power Rangers Once and Always, was it like a special, was it like a special or something? A special show, a special episode or something? A special reunion?
Reunion,
It was
yes.
the 30th year anniversary for Once and Always. Yeah, it was the 30th year anniversary show movie, I guess. And we wondered if there was a possibility they were gonna continue on and do more with it, but because when they spoke to me, they said we're saving the sets.
Yeah.
So they're excited about it. But then it looks like they shut down all the production in New Zealand, so it looks like it's not gonna, like it was a one-time only thing. But I don't know, it gave them ideas.
Yeah.
So, once and only, exactly.
But we are trying to shoot it on the streets, so if you can help us
Did you enjoy Once and Always?
Oh, yes, I loved it. It got emotional too in the ending.
Yeah, no, obviously. I will say, it was 28 years between the time I started, 30 years between the time I started the show and it took me 28 years to come back to it. So that was wild for me.
And he did the flip. That was him.
And I didn't.
We already had an incident for insurance. No more
I did add everything, exactly.
No more incidents for the insurance.
No more incidents. I will tell you this though. When I left the show, when I left Mighty Morphin, I didn't know I was leaving the show. I thought, I want to negotiate a contract, I'll be back, we'll do the movie, we'll do a few more episodes, and then we'll probably move on. But that didn't happen. So when we did the movie Once and Always, when it came to the end, they said, all right, that's a wrap on Walter Jones. I became so emotional because it was the closure I needed. I never had that wrap of this thing that I started and I've been around for 30 years. And, so, I mean, even right now.
Wow, no, that's huge.
The producers, when we had our first read through of the script, were really elevating Walter and David, and I feel like that's kind of why they were doing that for you.
Well deserved. Well,
It was pretty cool to have you. Because you could have been there. Yeah, at least they put your action figure in there, so it looked like you were in it. Yeah. I want to talk for just a second about the Alien Rangers season, and most of you got some time off during that little hiatus break, aside from, of course, you, John, who stepped into the show. How old were you when the show was on?
I was a very senior, 12 years old. 12 years old.
practically grown up.
Right?
You were full grown.
Yes.
It was unique too, though. But from your perspective, it was hardly, there was very little Power Rangers stuff, right? You did a lot of it in one place. You had those command center scenes, I suppose, and then switched back to Nakia.
Right.
But during the time, how long was that entire arc of a process for you?
For me, I think it was only about a week that I was filming out of school on location, which was, thousands of miles away in Africa by way of Valencia. They did an amazing job. And that lion, he was the friendliest thing ever. He appeared when I saw him with you guys on the screen for the first time. But yeah, it was a lot. So my particular filming was on location practically there. My main scene in the command center was that scene that you see. I was in them streets roughing it for you guys. Tumbleweeds and all. It was cold. I got some bug bites for you guys.
Yeah.
And the work.
Well, I'm glad you got that experience though too.
Me too.
And what do you do now? How are you acting? Tell us about your career.
My career, my acting career, or
Anything
my
about your life that you would like to share?
Oh my goodness. do we really want transparency?
Yes. It's Sunday at the con. I think that's all we can give.
I am a children's social worker. Life after college, adulting. Again, it's rough in those streets. Okay, so we're just figuring out life, doing things as best as we can. I think as humans, that's what we're all trying to do. I would, if I did segue back into acting, I'd probably do more behind the scenes things as opposed to in front of the camera. I think these guys do such a good job in front of the camera. They don't need me. I can go behind the scenes for them and just maybe do some voice work. I appreciate that, Cameron. I appreciate that. So I'm open to it, but I'm just kind of doing the normal people stuff.
That's good, but you seem, as long as you're in a good, happy place and you have a really rewarding job, it sounds like something fulfilling for people.
Did you hear that, Brett?
Difficult, perhaps.
What he said. That's what it is.
Oh man.
But you guys rejuvenate me. So these breaks for the con, this is what it's all about. Definitely worth it. The love goes both ways.
I love that. Let's go back to the audience for some questions. Let's start with the Black Ranger.
Now we got questions.
Hey, I got a question for Walter.
What up, dog?
What was your thoughts on the Mighty Morphin movie where they cast him as Zack, but he looked like Adam?
Well, you know, the show, we've had three decades of the show, right? So back in '93 when the Black Ranger was the Black Ranger, and it was not really a big deal. Not a lot of people made a big deal. But then the next generation was like, hey, that's weird. The Black Ranger is black, and the Asian Ranger, the Yellow Ranger is Asian, and the Red Ranger he's Indian, which is not true. And the Blue Ranger, they start making stuff up. And the Green Ranger, he's amphibian, you know, so he's weird. So it got weird, and then I think, production was like, okay, we don't want to make that mistake again, so let's make the Blue Ranger, the Black Ranger Asian, and we can make the Yellow Ranger something else, whatever. But so it wasn't a big deal. I just African American. No, not that movie. We talk about the 2017 movie. Yes. Yeah, we're talking about that's right? Yes. The 2017 movie. She's Latina. Latina, she's Latina, that's right.
Afro-Latina.
No,
Afro-Latina.
Audrey, yeah, she's Latina.
Did I like the movie? I did. I just wish they would have put some hip-hop keto in it. Apparently, Louis told me that he tried to produce something. He did some stuff on top of the train, but they didn't keep it in the film. So.
I have a question actually about the 2017 movie.
Were you asked to be in it or anything?
It was Jason and Amy Jo.
Not even your action figure like me?
I'm honestly surprised at the that they didn't try to spin that too. Be like, see, you're represented. You're welcome.
I didn't understand. There were a few things that I felt about Once and Always. I really enjoyed watching it, but I really felt like Paul and Jason should have been in that.
In the original draft, Ann Knapp did the first draft, and she put Bulk and Skull in there.
Yeah.
Next time I saw her, the first thing she said is, dude, I'm sorry, you guys were in it.
Yeah.
I did the script, you guys were definitely there, and then somebody else took it.
Well,
Boom!
Johnny and I, we were almost not in it, and I basically told them no. And then I go, what is this? I said, it's kind of rude that, you know, like, you're, like, we should all have the same thing. And where is Broken Skull? Like, I put it in, like, I really went off, and it worked out for me and Johnny, but I was trying. Because I just thought, I was like, this is the one time they can get the band back together. And if whoever's available, make it happen.
But Saban always, they suck at legacy. That's why people are like, what could you do when Marvel did? Yeah, exactly, because they could give a shit about legacy. Ever. Like, they missed the boat on several occasions. And they might put something in the show, and then like, when they did a callback, whether it's a character or a choice, and when they went back to it, they didn't continue any sort of continuity with that. They would drop it and start again, and drop it and start again, as though they never read the Bible to the series.
Right.
You know. So.
I know. I tell people all the time. I'm like, if you guys are looking for nostalgia from them, it's never going to happen unless you demand it.
It totally is about the fans. More like other places, like, oh, it's the fans that keep it going. Well, no. In this case, it really is. You.
And I mean, and if you think about it, Trini should have had a love letter. The most shocking thing that ever happened, like, period. Like, I just remember being like, what? Like, it was just so shocking. And so I know they've done certain things, and I was like, gosh. So when we found out that it was a love letter to Trini, that was my biggest argument, because I was like, look, I literally stepped into her shoes, like the same boots, like we had the same costume, like. I get it, y'all want us to shoot in LA, but this is wrong. Like, we should be there. I would be honored to be in an episode that's all about her. Like, I just think it's crazy. Kat said so, like, we all said something, but I'm so glad it worked out. And then at the time, we didn't know it was going to be a love letter to Jason too. So it just ended up being wonderful. But yeah, you guys
it was right that you guys were there.
I was hoping they would have been there, and like they would have been Rangers, and it would have been like, or something cool. Like, we knew Broken Skull would finally make it.
They should have brought out the purple and orange one.
Jason, did you see any of Anne's script that had you guys what you were supposed to be doing? Or did you
I did not see it.
Yeah, I did not see any idea what it might have been like.
She had it, and I think she was going to let me see it if she was allowed to, but she wasn't allowed to yet, or I forget.
There was several versions of the script.
But it was a beautiful story. Like, I truly love the relationship between Walter and Ben. I thought that was so cool. It was just so great, and it really, like, we didn't see the end. We didn't know what they were going to do when we lost Jason, so it was like, when they set up a private screening at Netflix, and when we saw it, it was just like, oh, it couldn't have been any more perfect. Like, just the song, the moment, it was just really cool. Yeah, it was. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.